Welcome back to Property Play. I'm your host, Elena Saradidis. Home invasions and break-ins are at an all-time high, and because of that, I invited my good friend, Michelle, from Canada First to talk all about how to secure your home and what's actually happening in Canada and with break-ins. So do you want to kind of share the stats of what break-ins look like right now, and then we'll jump into what your company does?
Absolutely, yeah. And at Canada First, we're not here to fearmonger. That's what the news does, but I will share from a stats perspective exactly what we are seeing, okay? So you're in Toronto. There is 12 home invasions a night in Toronto. We are in Oakville right now. There's about 6 a night in Oakville. And in the Peel region, Brampton and Mississauga, there's about 13 home invasions a night. And that is from stats from the police, but it is everywhere and it has increased significantly.
So when did you kind of see an uptake in home invasions or an uptake in break-ins?
Yeah, starting at COVID is where if you look at a graph, because graphs don't lie, 2020 all the way up to 2025, the graph has significantly increased. And like I mentioned, it's across the board, across the GTA.
So I know you came over to my house, you
Yeah.
did a little home evaluation and see how secure my house is. When you're looking at what makes a home secure, what kind of vulnerability points are you actually focused in on?
That's an amazing question. These guys are looking for quick and easy. They're opportunists. They're not James Bond. They're looking for low-hanging fruit. That is typically a front door, or they love patio doors. We also do, it's called a free home defense audit, where myself or one of our home defense experts will walk around your property and assess the most vulnerable entry points that we see statistically that these guys choose to go into. Typically, again, the front door and the patio, but any windows that are low that they can touch, that is a vulnerability point.
Okay, so what does Canada First do? What are your products? What do you help do to make sure my home is secure?
Yeah, so we are a total home protection company and we specialize in window security film, exactly what you're getting, door reinforcement locks. Because if we put film on your door or your window, that's fantastic. But let's pick your door, for example. If they just kick your front door, great, the film is useless. We have to add reinforcement locks. So we're the full solution there. We also have cameras and alarms. We also have a revolutionary product called the Fog Shield machine, which picture somebody coming into your home and your entire house is filled with fog. These guys have no idea what is going on. They can't see, they don't know if it's chemicals, and it has a 97% success rate.
And okay, so that's great, but how do you actually compare to the competition? If I get film on my door or on my window or on anything and I break it, wouldn't the whole window just fall?
Yeah, great question. So a couple different reasons why Canada First is the leaders in the industry. We do about 18 to 20 installation jobs a day. The main reason which differentiates ourselves from others is our free home defense audit, right? We provide extra value to actually educate the customer as to why they need to secure their home, okay? We also do something called silicone structural caulking. Instead of just putting your window security film, plastering it onto your glass and having everything fall in, if somebody hits it, we'll show a video of that, you need to bind it to the frame. So a lot of companies don't want to do that because it's hard work and it takes a lot of time for the technician to learn that skill set. Caulking is a very challenging skill set. Our guys don't do the classic 2 days of training. That's what the industry recommends. We go through 3 months. You saw our training facility, you see our house facade. Our guys go through 3 months of rigorous training to ensure that they're not practicing at your home, they're practicing in our facility.
So what would you say if someone was, and I say someone as if Dan didn't do this, but what would you say if someone was to order film off Amazon and just install it themselves? Why couldn't they just do that?
Yeah, they could, right? And in life, there's definitely things you can cut corners. Having a parachute and having security of your home are 2 things you do not want to cut corners in. So Amazon product, most likely from China, okay? So the thickness of it is not going to be the same as what we use. We use the thickest mill in the industry. That's the measurement of the product. Amazon has about a 4 mil or a 6 mil, and we have a 14 mil. Also, unless Dan is an amazing person who does silicone structural caulking and he knows how to do that, then the product is absolutely ineffective if you don't bind it to the frame.
So what is the difference based on thickness? Like, what does that gain me or not?
Yeah, the average industry, the standard is an 8 mil. That's going to give you about a minute and a half. 14 mil is our bread and butter. That is what we use. We actually recommend a 14 mil on the inside and an 8 mil on the outside. Sandwich that together, you're getting 10 minutes. 14 mil on the inside, to compare it to the 8 mil, is 5 minutes. So 5 minutes with us versus a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Okay, and we're gonna show a video because
Yeah.
I feel like you actually need to see it
Yeah.
to be able to compare what you guys do in comparison.
On the left here, we have a window done in the way that our competitors do it. It's a 7 to 8 mil film, and there's no security silicone. And the security silicone is a difficult thing to install because you can mess it up really easy. On the right is our window installed with double-sided film, 14 mil on the inside, and our exterior film on the outside with security silicone. And we're gonna show you the difference between going to our competitor and then going to us. Okay, so what occurred here, guys, is the frame broke, okay? And because there was no security silicone, the whole sheet comes out. So it's a false sense of security, and we have organizations in this space selling this to customers right now. Let's go ahead and do ours. Here, allow me. Okay? So now you're like, all right, well, look, you got to keep hitting that. Great. Just understand that I'm not a 120-pound burglar with no work ethic. We know what we're up against, but let's say I keep breaking through this. And the whole idea is there's a door that I can unlock. So now I can maybe reach my hand in and unlock the door. What you got to understand is we're going to lock that door in 3 or 4 places. So he's not even going to be able to unlock your door. The main point for your windows, guys, is this something you would want to climb through? That's the main point for your windows. We do this on your lower floor and your upper floor windows because some of these guys are bringing ladders to houses, okay? But this is not a window that I would want to crawl through. Most people are going to be deterred after the 5th or the 6th hit. We can show you plenty of videos where people are trying to break into houses with our product, and they give up after 4 or 5 swings.
What I also love is you didn't come in and try to oversell me on other products that my home didn't need.
Yep.
So like we discussed, like how many inches is the nail that is holding your
Yes.
door?
Yes.
Like, want to like kind of like jump into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so what we believe at Canada First is we are the experts. So we will come to your home and I will recommend exactly what I see fit for your home based on statistics. So a door is very easy to kick down, and we can share a video of that. 1 or 2 kicks and a typical builder door is being kicked in. My door, your door, majority of individuals' doors. So when we talked about it and when we went through our free home defense audit, I asked if you had builder screws or if Dan installed larger screws for the hinges. And he did, which is fantastic. But these are the added tips that we provide that we have learned from the police to further secure homeowners or tenants' homes.
So you said earlier on that the entry points are usually front door, front window, anything easily accessible, or the back
Yep.
patio door.
Yep.
So how would you protect your front door other than just the nails?
Yes. Yeah, the nails are fantastic. You have 3 hinges typically. So you want to mimic those pressure points on the other side of your door. Normal builder doors have 1 lock, your deadbolt. It's going into a very small frame. When that door gets kicked, that trim is ripping and these guys are coming into your house. So what we highly recommend is your hinge at the top has a lock mirroring it on the other side. We call it a flip lock. It's 12,000 pounds of resistance. It's a fantastic lock. Then you have your middle hinge, your deadbolt, that's good. And at the bottom, the best lock on the market, it's called a floor brace, 2,000 pounds of resistance, and it would take somebody 25 minutes to kick a door down. So yes, we do the screws. However, the reinforcement locks, game over.
Okay, there's no way he's breaking into this. This is crazy.
And because you love your stats, and I'm going to ask you all the stats on the spot, how long does the typical criminal, they try to break into your home, when do they give up if they can't get in?
These guys are idiots, okay? They're not, they're idiots. I'm just gonna say it, they're idiots. They're not James Bond, they're opportunists, they're looking for quick and easy. What we have seen is about 30 seconds, they attempt, and we can show a video, that's it, they move on.
Okay.
30 seconds, and even less we have seen.
Okay, and then the back, you mentioned the patio door. How do you secure a patio door? Because people are not going to give up their patio doors. They look too pretty. They look too pretty. They let tons of light in. Like, that's the last thing that you want to get rid of.
Yep.
What would you do to secure a patio door?
Yes, so window security film, always silicone structural caulking, for sure. Patio doors, I would double. It's the most vulnerable entry point. It's tempered glass. It's like a car windshield, very easy to break. So window film must. And then if they were to jiggy the patio door to open it up, we would highly recommend a lock that we have that gets bolted into the foundation of your floor, and it stops your door from opening. It's a slider. We can show a photo of it.
demonstration, yeah.
And then we would also recommend the classic stick in the
okay.
track is what we would recommend.
Okay. And that one's an important one, because if you see how people install the patio doors,
Yes.
you can literally just lift and move it.
Yeah, Dan was worried about that.
Yeah.
But your patio door is great because you already have a pin that goes down. A lot of patio doors don't have that.
Well, when we built our house, we built it for us to live in.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. And like, I don't even think security was our top of mind. It was like, what makes the most sense?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we'll just buy it. We were lucky. And we got a very good home security score because we were lucky.
Yeah.
But it was never like our intent was like, oh, we found a door that locks at the bottom or locks at the
Yeah,
top.
of course.
It just happened that the door that we got installed
People aren't aware,
had
right?
that. Exactly.
You're not breaking it. Like,
But can I ask you a question? Why did you have me at your house yesterday? Like why look into window security film and extra door locks?
Okay, well, the best way to frame it is this. Dan travels for work, I travel for work. My fear when Dan's not home is I leave all the lights on and I sleep with the lights on. And I'm sure I'm not the only one like this, but I will sleep with the lights on because I'm terrified that someone is gonna break in.
Yeah.
Or terrified, like anything could happen, but I will sleep with all the lights on. And I know I'm not the only one like this because my team does the same.
Yeah.
Like if someone is traveling, like someone's sleeping on the couch in front of their doors, like someone's sleeping, like you're a little bit more cautious, maybe because I'm also a woman, like it's a little different for us. But I wanted security for when Dan is not home.
Yeah.
Am I comfortable that if someone did try and break in, like either I can make it out of there or I can call 911 before anything bad happened, as opposed to like I'm sitting there on the couch and someone just broke into my home.
Right, you're reactive.
Exactly.
This is a very proactive approach, and you're buying two things, exactly what you said, peace of mind and time. God forbid if somebody does come bang in on your window, you have time to then react, right? As opposed to them already being in your home and you not even having time to react because they're there.
Also, I live in one of the safest neighborhoods in the city.
You
Let's
do.
be like,
Yeah.
so for real. It's grandma and grandpa all over the place. They all sit on their porch. They look out their window. Like we know who's coming in and out. We don't get porch thefts. Like that's not a thing that happens in our area. At least not yet.
Yep.
Like crime rate has increased, year over year and in various pockets of the city.
Yep.
I also really like my home. I don't want to move. And I'm the type that if something like that were to happen, I'd probably move.
Yes. Yes.
And it comes from a like, do you feel secure in your home? Are you happy? Like if something traumatizing, because that is traumatizing, happened to your home, would you want to return back to your home and still live there? And I see a pattern, and this has happened. Like, we do a lot of transactions. We meet with a lot of people. This does happen to other people. And it has been a new area of my business that people are moving because something traumatic happened.
Yep.
So like it is something to be very cautious about, and preventative is always better than, oh my gosh, now that it's happened, let's secure the home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We get a lot of individuals who call us after a home invasion or a break and enter. And we are giving them that hope back. But for those people who look into this like yourself prior to anything happening, it's a very, very smart idea to take power back in your own hands. We can't control crime, but what we can do is control the security of our home. And then that gives you your power.
100%. When you're looking at doing a home audit, walking around the home, what are some things you're kind of looking for that would be like easy targets for people that could break into your house?
Absolutely. So our home defense expert will walk around the perimeter outside of the house to see how high windows are and to assess the vulnerability. It's a risk assessment. So we'll do a full 360 walk around. We look to see that if they do have a gate on the side, is the gate locked? We look to see if it is dark, do they have the perimeter lit up? 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. is when the majority of home invasions occur. The more lights you have in your home outside, the better, okay? We look to see if there are cameras. We look to see if there's ladders or rocks or bricks or any tools that these guys could use to break into the house. We look to see if there's a lot of trees or a lot of bushes around the home close to the house, if these guys could hide behind them and then nobody could see. So we do a full perimeter walk around to share additional things that homeowners could do to further secure their home beyond window security film, door locks, cameras, and alarms.
Okay, so we talked about the windows, we talked about the doors. Tell me more about this smoke system.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we'll
what-
show a video too. So it's very popular in Europe, and it's a fog machine. It is food grade, which means that it's not going to harm anyone, but these idiots don't know that. They don't know if it's going to be tear gas. They don't know if it's going to be chemicals. And the beautiful thing about it, they can't see. You and I right now, if there was fog, you would not be able to see each other. They don't know the lay of the land. They probably think the homeowner is crazy, and they get out. 97% success rate.
it's amazing.
This is Tom, by the way. Tom's gonna play our burglar. So he's gonna throw the brick as hard as he can at the window. 3, 2, 1, go ahead, buddy. This is smooth to the touch, by the way. So this hasn't even broken the film yet. Okay, like I can literally rub this. I don't have gloves on, no glass shards, absolutely nothing. Now we're gonna bring in the baseball bat. Break it in.
Oh.
All right, and guess what? Now the house is filling with smoke.
Insane.
Okay, now they're blind.
we
They're in your
basically-
house. They don't know their way around. They don't know where your kitchen is. They don't know where your car keys are. They don't know where your bedrooms are. They literally can't see anything. So this is our smoke machine. What are your thoughts on the combination of all those products?
Yeah, having that extra time is definitely an asset because it gets everything, you know, gives you enough time too for the police to get there. So you're actually sitting right beside me, and I saw a shadow of you, but I actually couldn't see you.
First stop, if you were looking to secure your home,
Yes.
cheap, cheerful, you're talking lights.
Yep.
Light it up like a Christmas tree
Yep.
outside your home.
Yep.
Security cameras help, but they're not going to deter anyone, so they're still probably going to break in.
17% success rate.
Okay. Window securing, door securing,
Yep.
that's number 1 on your list.
Yep.
If you were going to do like an actual paid service to get your home secured.
Yep.
And then we're adding smoke
Yep.
as the 5th thing in it.
Yep.
But like what I'm understanding is a very cheap way to make sure that your home is secure is literally lighting it all up.
Yes, exactly.
And then everything else is like an added security bonus, but a house that's well lit is less likely to get broken into than a house that looks fully dark and like no one's there or people are sleeping.
Yep, exactly.
If someone does get broken into, what's the likelihood that they're gonna get broken into again?
We've seen it happen. I want to say the likelihood is lower, but we have seen situations where if they don't get what they sought out to get, especially if it's targeted, they will come back.
Okay. Is there any final notes that we should know about Canada First? How do you compare when you look at your competitors and you look at you, price-wise? Where are we looking?
Yeah, so Canada First is the cheapest option in terms of the amount of value that we provide to our customers. There's very specific things that Canada First does that no one in this space does. Number one, we're a total home protection company. So we're not just doing the window film, we're doing the door locks, we're doing the camera and the alarms, and we're doing the fog shield machine. Technicians do not train for the classic 2 days, they train for 3 months. All of my guys will have background checks. They all have badges on them with valid driver's license to ensure you knew me. So it's like, I'm not a criminal. I'm not going to come and break into your house after. But some people don't know who Canada First is. They call us and they trust us to come. But it's important, it's a sensitive industry, that they know a criminal is not coming to their home. So there's a variety of different things Canada First does. The silicone structural caulking, the 14 mil, we have branded trucks. We have a beautiful 35,000 square foot facility. There's a lot of different things we do that nobody compares to us. And in terms of price, we're the cheapest for the value that we provide.
So if you're looking for home security, Canada First is where to look first. Do you love the little pun that I added in there? It's who I use to secure my home. And if you are interested in more information, we'll put all of their info down below. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Once again, this was Property Play.